Hello world, my name is Brandon Jacobson and I'm a grandpa who likes to play video games, and today we're going to be playing Bitcraft. This is the 5th video in my Bitcraft series, and I've just logged in over 100 hours in the game, and I'm going to give you 5 tips on the things I wish I knew when I first started playing. So I've been playing for a while now. I have tier 3 mostly everything. Like I said, over 100 hours. So here are some tips. So the first one is to interface with the NPCs as soon as possible. So I waited. I didn't know what their value was for gameplay, and so I'm in my own city right now, and we have all of our NPCs in a row, and basically I'm trying to backtrack and level them up. So this one right here, Svim, you trade, you go to Traveler's Tasks, and it's mostly, or this is Rampart. Here we go. And it's mostly tier 1 stuff. The problem with that is that as you're going up, you're probably processing tier 2 and tier 3. So you're gonna have to go backwards and level them up. So what I would do is, as you get level 10 in things, I would make sure that these are all at level 10. And also, don't forget, you don't have to be near them to see what their tasks are. So you can be in your bank and get the stuff you need by going to here, the Traveler's Tasks, and then you can scroll through each one and see what they need. And that way you can load up and bring them all at the same time. Also, don't forget about Alessi. That's how you get taming. That's how you get deer and ox and things like that. It should look like this tree, and you have to enter it. So it is its own instance. I'm not sure why. So that's tier number 1. Tip number 1 is to level up the NPCs at the same time you are leveling up your character in the other professions. So tip number 2 is join a settlement earlier than later. Now this is a personal preference. If you want to do solo, that's fine. A lot of people do solo, but joining a settlement and an empire early gives you access to a lot of stuff. So I'm kind of mid-tier to come with everyone else, but if you just come here to the woodworking session, we have all these chests, and in it you'll find all these materials, and for the most part we share with each other on it. Additionally, we have our own Discord, and if you need supplies, then it's much quicker to level up things when you're in a settlement, especially of good ones. Now, things to watch out for are players who take it too seriously and you have to do a monthly or daily quota. That's not my level of play. I don't like any role playing either. I think that's maybe just because of my age. That is no longer fun to me, or it never was. And I would especially watch out for things that require real life commitments too. When I played EVE Online, we were having real life meetings, and that's something I'm never going to do again. So that's tip number 2, join a settlement early. To do that, you can just go to your map and find these player name settlements. You can also see this is a empire right here, so you can go to your chat and select region and say, hey, is anybody can I join a settlement, or can I join an empire? Usually you'll see just non-stop recruiting spam anyway, so just join them and see if you like them. There's no commitment to stay with them, you just move on. Alright, so tip number 3 is to wear the appropriate clothing for what you're doing. I did not know this when I first started playing. I thought T3 gear was the armor. This is the plated armor that gives you the max health and armor. So this is your armor here and your health, right? I thought this is what I wanted to increase. But there are other types of clothing. For example, I am wearing all of the woven stuff, which gives you more stamina, which is this yellow bar, and it gives you more crafting speed, and more building speed. All right, there's also leather. So right here, this gives you faster gathering. It makes you move quicker. It makes you be able to evade. So that way you can go farther places and evade enemies and try to gather as fast as possible. So I didn't know this until later in the game. For you to level up, right, it does require a lot more, but let's say you want to create your woven gear. You just come here and you see this tier 3. You click on that and you can see what it takes to get it. So except for flint, when you go from pyrolite to tier 3 and above, you do have to upgrade. You do have to use your original clothing to upgrade. So some people get confused that this never gets a green check mark by it, which means you can craft it, and that's because you have to take off what you're wearing and then upgrade it. So that is tip number 3. It does make a very large difference, and to see the difference is go try to craft something. You will see 2 different numbers. So let's craft. Let's do one of these. Let's do 5 of them. And then you'll see this right here, this number 12. This is based off of the tool you're using, right? This time multiplier is how quickly you're doing that much effort right here. So without all this clothing, this would be in like the 1.59 or 1.8, and it seems silly for 0.1 of a second. But once you start processing a lot of stuff, your effort bar is going to be in the 5,000s, 7,000s, 11,000s, and that's where the seconds really come in handy. And so wearing the right gear is very important. Something else to note is that there are different types of rings. I like this one just because it's the catch-all, and this gives you 5.6 to all of them, but just realize that there's different jewelry for different purposes as well. So that is tip number 3. The 4th tip, let me show you what that is, and we'll be right back. All right, so my next tip is what I call storage stacking. And so let's say you have your cart, right, and you can't get up this thing right here, right? Just the cart can't do it, the wagon can't do it. There's a way to stack the way the game does inventories. And so hold on, let me try to get into a spot here. So nope. So when you let's press I, and well, let me climb up real quick. So let's press I. You see how my cart is still lit up? You can go pretty far and it'll still be lit up. See, you see how it, see right now I can mine this right here, and it will fill up this slot first, and then it will start filling that up next, right? So that's one way to do it, but you can deploy different things. And so right now I deployed my cart, but I can also take my deer and see if I can come up here. Nope, see a good place where I can jump up. There we go. And now let's see where we are. Okay, so now we can access, now we can access that, and then right click on this. Oops. Shift right click this, and it says view rideable deer storage. Okay, so let's do that one. And now you can go pretty far. So our cart has gone over. So now we have a deer, right? So let's say we wanted to harvest something. Maybe there's a bush here or one of these, but let's say it was closer. We can fill up this inventory and then bring it back. And then all we have to do is come here and then drop it there. And you just keep on doing that. And once your cart is filled, right? Don't fill up your deer or your goat or whatever you have. Right click that and then collect your deer to vault. And then you can come down here and now this will be filled and you weren't even close to it, right? So the fifth tip is this right here, this compendium. So what you can do, especially if you're in a settlement or you just want to try this in the market, let's say you want to find resources, right? Let's say you just upgraded to tier 3 and you wanted to find some granite outcrop, right? This is just tier 3 stone. You can press track on this, and when you're close enough to it, so let's check that out. Let me get rid of this real quick. And then on your map, you will have a granite outcrop. And as you go further into the zone you're trying to, it's going to find all the granite outcrops. So that's the advantage of the compendium. One thing to note though, let's say you wanted the ore. There are two different types of ores, so you might want to try both of them. The large is those really big ones that have a lot. The smaller one, of course. So you might want to press track here, check your map, see what's closer, and then track there to see what's closer. So those are my 5 tips. Just to summarize, the first one, interact with the NPCs as you level up. Don't wait until the end like I do, and then you have to go reverse. Just level them all up at the same time. It might slow down your progress, but it's going to increase it as you go up. Especially when you look at gold. Your ability to earn gold will go up quicker if you do it at the same time. The second one, if you want, join a settlement, join an empire, get access to resources. You'll need to do it anyways to do T3. So you'll either need to use somebody else's settlement or join one anyways, because the game encourages it by only letting you craft till T2. The third one is wear their respective clothes for the bonuses. So because I was going into these austere conditions where there's some larger monsters, I put on my armor, but feel free to wear the appropriate either woven or leather as we discussed. The fourth one is storage stacking. So you can go pretty far away from your deployable, and then you can add another deployable and really cut down the time to access hard to reach resources. And the fifth one is touch an item, add it to your compendium, and then track it. That way you can track more of the hard to get resources in your map like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Like it if you did. Leave a comment on your favorite tip that you wish you knew before. And thanks for watching. Goodbye, world.